when you go and somebody's in a degrading, demeaning job, and that's bringing their mental health down, and then they're given resilience training, and the resilience training doesn't really do the trick. And that individual, if he or she isn't well informed, and many people aren't, might think, well, it's actually, I really am a loser. It really is my fault because they offered me this solution and it didn't work. Well, that's criminal. That's criminal because that wasn't the right solution. And so you can actually compound people's distress by offering them a solution and by either implying or telling them that they are the solution, and it fails. And so it can actually reinforce the harm of that work by putting in place an inappropriate and ineffective solution. So there, I would argue that in business ethics, the first place to start is your responsibilities. And a lot of employers, understandably, have been scared by this workplace mental health thing. Less so now, but say go back a decade. It's like, what are you telling me? I'm responsible for people's mental health? No, you're not. You're responsible for the modifiable elements of work that might harm those people's mental health. When it comes to somebody who has a mental health problem at work, your responsibility is to accommodate them as best you can to get their job done. You're not to treat them. You're not the solution to their mental illness. We're not asking you to do that. And that clarity is so important for employers. A lot of employers breathe a huge sigh of relief when they hear that, because it's easy to think, oh, so I'm supposed to be a counselor and a psychologist now too, as well as a manager. No, you're not. You're not. But understanding where those dividing lines are, what your responsibilities are, and where they end is a critical thing to equip managers with, so that they don't feel the burden, a burden that's larger than is reasonable or appropriate for them to take on. And so that's something that we need to do better in this space, in working with organizations, because we don't want to let that mindset exist, really, because it's wrong.